I'm Randi Dukes, a Dallas-Fort Worth realtor, and I'm here today with Jenny James, the owner of Legacy Music Studio. So before we dive in, do you want to tell us about Legacy Music Studio?
Yeah, so we're located in Old Town Lewisville, and we're basically a group of teachers in different instruments and voice, and that share a teaching space. So I teach piano, but I've got a team of like 10 other teachers with me, and we just teach out of the same spot. So yeah.
And you own the business and started it?
I started it technically 3 years ago. I've been teaching for more than 15, but started this business 3 years ago, and yeah, I own it. So I kind of run the studio, but I myself am a piano teacher at the studio.
Okay. And so that leads to this.
Yes.
We are sitting in a very old house, as you can tell, and this is your new baby. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the history of this house and why we're here?
So it's always been a dream to own a studio instead of renting. And I've always kind of kept my eyes open for just the right place. And so definitely got you involved in that too. Just knowing that I wanted a space that we could land and it's ours. And I really like the idea of a home because our studio really is that warm environment where people just feel welcome and can hang out and be a part of a family. And so when I found this house, I mean, we walked in, it was like, this is it. Like,
it's a
for
treasure.
sure, this is it. Yeah. So that's how we like
So
it.
how old is this house? I know it was listed in the 1900s.
Yeah, it was listed at 1910, but when I called Denton County, like historical whatever group, and told them about this, and they did some research, and they were able to find like a bill of sale from 1897, so they know it's at least that old. I was told the cattle run to the city. It was like right next to here. And it's only been traced back to 3 families. So
Amazing.
I know for over 120 years. So that's pretty incredible too.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And I know when we were going through the sale, the family that owned this house is so invested in what you're doing, which is amazing.
Yes, and that's really special to me. Like I love hearing the stories of the people who grew up here and just everything that goes with it because it's a family. It's gonna be a family-like studio, and I love that sense of community and family. So it's fun to hear those stories.
Yeah. So what elements of the house are you preserving?
Okay, so we're kind of keeping what I call the main house or the front house, which includes this room we're in, the room behind me. There's a hallway, and there's 2 kind of parallel rooms on the other side. The rest of the house we're going to tear down. It was kind of like some additions along the way, but this is what is the original structure that probably is over 120 years old.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's so cool.
So do you have any remodeling experience?
None. Like I don't know what I'm doing. Like, yeah, I'm just crazy enough to take on something like this. But I've just known in life, like in order to be really successful, is you surround yourself with the right people, and so I just always create a team of the right people who are going to help us get there. So I don't even stress about it because I figure there's people that know what they're doing, and I'm just going to get on my team and we're going to do great. So, yeah.
And you talked a little bit about why you decided to tackle this anyway, that you just love the idea of restoring an old house.
Yeah. This just reminds me of my grandmother's house, and so we have a farmhouse in Waco that we recently sold, but this place just really reminds me of that with the walls and the pocket doors and things like that. Yeah. So this is it when I saw it.
Yeah. And so you're taking a residential property, turning it into a commercial property. What professionals have you pulled in along the way?
Yeah, so that is a whole different kind of ball game because if I was buying commercial and it was already commercial, some things are already done. But when you take a property that someone had lived in and you make it commercial, well, there's all these things you have to do, especially when you start doing construction. So obviously we got an architect on board early on who is well known in Old Town and knows all the things we need to do and not do. And so again, just getting the right people on the team. Obviously bringing in engineers. We have to do a parking lot.
Yeah.
You know, so we have a civil engineer for that. We have to do make it ADA compliant. So handicap spaces, make sure the doorways are big enough for that. The bathrooms we put in. So there's a lot of kind of rules and things for commercial that's different for residential. And so we're just doing what they tell us to do. We got to follow their rules.
Well, and again, you're very good at hiring the right people,
Yes.
and that's key in a project where you don't know the basics.
Yeah. There's no reason for me to go in and just do something because I'm going to make mistakes and it's going to cost me money. And so I need just to get the right people. There's a reason why you hire the right people to do things.
Right.
And so a project like this is, it's way out of my realm of expertise, so I'm going to bring in the right people.
So remodeling an old house like this can be a bit of a money pit. Were there certain things you were watching out for in the beginning?
Yeah, initially when my husband and I got this, our inspection, that inspection day included a termite inspection, because this is a lot of wood.
Yeah,
so we knew like right away, let's see how the condition of the wood is. All came back clean, just some carpenter ants, but that's an easy fix. Yeah, they basically said this is a solid house. Asbestos, that's a big one. That really scares a lot of people, because if you have to treat asbestos, we're looking at $20,000 to $30,000, and so that's a large ticket item. So we actually had it checked for that. We're good on that. Foundation, well, it's really old, so we knew there's foundation issues, and we were going to be adding on, so we were fine with it. We actually didn't even need a full inspection, because everything that would be inspected, like the electrical, the plumbing, we're going to be changing anyway. So, you know, I actually kind of like some of the little bit of the cracks and things. Oh yeah, I like the imperfections, so I'm actually okay with it. There's no big issues, so we're gonna roll with what we have.
Yeah, and it is one of the neat things about buying an old house. You're wanting to create some of that.
Yeah. Definitely.
So you're far from being done, but what are some of the biggest delights you've found so far in the process?
Well, I mean, for one, we found some fun treasures. I found a 1917 penny that fell out of the wall, which is really cool.
Super fun.
Yeah. We found some really cool old wallpaper, just some little treasures and things along the way. But one of the greatest things about this is that I've been doing this with my family, with my husband and my kids, and we've been up here just doing what we know how to do, which is we can pull down some walls and wallpaper, and we can clean up, and so we're just kind of getting our hands dirty just to, you know, have a little part of the rebuild. But then here in a bit, we're going to get out of the way and let the real team come in and take over. So yeah.
What's your timeline for completion?
So we actually, I mean, I'm hoping like from the time we purchased to the time we move in, probably about a year.
Okay.
Actually, when you take a residential property and make it to commercial, the city told us you're looking at least 4 months from the first day we talk with them. So we started talking to them back in April. So I mean, 4 months to start actual build, and then, you know, 6 to 9 months. But I'm just kind of going on the school year, so I'm hoping by the end of next May we're hopefully kind of looking at moving in.
So fun.
Yeah.
So do you have any advice for somebody that's thinking about tackling a project like this?
Well, I'm always like a go for it kind of girl. So like for me, I'm like, if it's like, you know, you only live once, if it's your heart desire to do it, then go for it. You know, if you're able to do it, and undoubtedly this costs money. So I mean, you can't be stupid about it. You have to know that, like, hey, do I have the funds to do it? Is this a good time for us? Is it a logical decision for us? But yeah, I'm all about, hey, if it's a dream, then make it happen. So thankfully, I have a husband who just thinks I'm just crazy enough that maybe it's a good idea.
Yeah.
So he's totally behind me on this. But and I would say he's totally involved in this. This is really his house. I would say he's a real behind the scenes kind of guy, like, you know. But yeah, he's equally excited too.
It's been really fun watching the process of it. And along those lines, I'm going to link everything down below, but you're documenting this entire thing.
Yeah.
So Trey Hernandez Media has been documenting parts of it. You work closely with him.
Yes.
And then you have an Instagram, which I'll link as well.
Yes.
But if you want to go back and see what some of it looked like at the beginning, definitely go check out all of that. And at the end, there will be really a documentary.
Yeah, we have it all. Yeah, Old Town Legacy House, and we've got the Instagram, the Facebook, the website, which we don't have anything on yet. But yeah, the idea is that when it's all said and done, we have this beautiful story that we can present to the Allen family that used to own this house, and we'll have it for ourselves, because these homes are really hard to come by.
They are.
So I think, you know, the original people who are going to be purchasing this, they're going to tear it down and build condos. And so, and we shouldn't let that happen to these beautiful houses. This is, you know, a great chance for people to come in, if you're willing and you have the passion, come in and restore what's so beautiful, and you can make it something new to last for decades longer.
Right. I love that you're preserving that history in Old Town Lewisville. So
fun.
Thanks so much for talking with me today, giving us a little bit of insight into the house. And we'll be back checking in with you.
I know, stop by anytime. It's so fun.
Thanks, Jenny.